Hello and welcome to my second devlog as I build a virtual reality escape room. Now, last time you saw the basic puzzle in action, but this time I need to build some new features and fix some annoying bugs. Okay, let's first talk about why my cuboidal hand is going through the copper carbonate. I mean, that can't be comfortable. And an iron too. I should do parties. Also high up on the agenda has to be fixing the scaling of the room and the furniture. I mean, my wall appears to be possessed, there's sunlight shining through the roof. I'd want my money back. And let's not forget the magic furnace, which you could just put stuff on top of and it will absorb and turn into glass. So I started trying to fix the iron first, because, well, I don't know, it just really annoyed me. But what I noticed was that there was a property called Attach Transform in the XR Grab interactable component I'm using to pick up objects in Unity. So what I decided to do was create an empty object which would act as an attaching point for the player's hand on the iron. It wasn't immediately successful, but after a few iterations, that happened. I finally managed to get something that, at least looked fairly right. And then all I had to do was copy the same technique for all of the other grabbable objects. So to fix the scaling issues of the room, I decided to start with the door, because it's a massive door. When I put the room into Blender, it turned out to be 4 meters tall. I mean, I'm not making Gaudi Cathedral. To be honest, the way I fixed it was not really scientific. I just used trial and error, and it worked eventually. So the end result is perhaps a little bit thin. Maybe in the future I'll take some more artistic license and make it a bit grander again. But in scaling the room, I did manage to fix the roof, so sunlight no longer comes through the top. And I used the scaling also to fix the desk and the sink size, which now look a lot better. So until now, I've not been able to put anything inside the furnace, it's just been resting on top. So I tried 2 ideas. The first one was to make the lid into a grabbable component, but the result, wasn't very good. So I decided what would be better would be to try and make the button work. So the button should be able to make the lid go up, and then make the lid go down and turn on the furnace. I didn't want the lid to open instantaneously when the button was pressed, so I created an animation of the lid opening slowly and then closing slowly. To do this, I created an empty object and put it at the edge of the lid to act as a hinge, and then I made an animation which rotated around that hinge. After that, I followed a tutorial, which I will link in the description below, so that the button would react to my VR hand pressing it and trigger the animation. Now technically, that's task complete. I'm able to open up the furnace, put objects inside, and have a piece of red glass created at the end. But I kind of want to have a bit more fun with it, and add an animation and a sound to the furnace as it's cooking. I wanted to make it look like the furnace was actually doing something, and an easy way to do this was just to make it rotate back and forth. It actually took me quite a while to trigger the animation at the right time, because very strange things kept happening. But eventually, 19th time lucky, it started to work. The last thing I wanted to do was to play a sound effect at the same time as the animation, so it could accompany the furnace as it was rumbling away. but I didn't want to pay any royalties for one, so I decided to create my own in Audition. And the way I did that was I recorded myself, making funny noises, and then I just, hit a spoon against a bowl from my cereal earlier in the day. And the effect is actually quite good when played together. Well, quite good for 5 minutes work. Okay, that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to continue to see how things progress, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks very much.